Hello, I'm Peter Thomas, Chief Executive Officer of Stockdale Leggo Proprietary Limited. When I was at ARAC this year, I almost stumbled across Kevin and Matt from realinvestmentproperty.com.au. I spoke to the guys and I looked at their program and I thought there is something good about what these guys are offering. I looked at the situation of our franchisees being able to offer the world property investments wherever they had their offices. And really, from an investor's point of view, it is very, very difficult to find investment property. With this particular site, any property that is returning better than 4% is on the site. And I looked at that and I thought, wow, this is a great way for our guys to sell more property. And then I looked at some of our regional centres where they're returning up to 7%, and I thought, how are these guys going to find the world? And then I looked at this site and I thought, this is the way. So now we have most of our franchisees are now supporting this site and finding they're getting great results from it. So I would ask you, if you were an investor out there in the marketplace, how do you find an investment property? How do you find a property that's going to return better than 4%? Pretty difficult. Well, I thought that. And so then I thought, we need to support this site. And we're doing it, and it's working fantastically. I'd like you to have a look at the site. It's a great opportunity for your investors to get their properties out to the marketplace. Matt, what I found was that as I'm getting older, I'm really interested in return. When I was younger, I was interested in profits, I was interested in great capital growth. But as I get older, I'm really interested in return. And when I looked at your site and I saw that that site has the ability to show me, or actually does show me, where the greatest returns are, I thought that's why the site's a winner. It really is a winner because it shows me where I get the best returns. Matt, what I found was that, and what I find today, is that the closer you come to inner city, you're looking at anything from a 1% return to a 3% return. And I thought for baby boomers in particular, and people who are interested in returns, those areas don't really make it onto your site, and that really interested me as well. Then when I looked upon our group and I looked at the different areas where they operated from, and I saw areas, particularly regional centres, that are offering up to 7% returns, I thought for the older people, the people who are seriously looking for a good investment return, yours was the only site who targets that sort of property. What I'm really saying to you is this, that if you want just capital growth, you generally would look at the inner city market. But if you want return, you need to move out further. And you find that in our regional centres are the areas that show the best return. So that's where your site is really on winner, because it targets the areas that show the greatest return. And quite frankly, a lot of the regional centres are very stable economies, and over a period of time they show good capital growth as well. But the difference is, you don't need to spend $1 million. You don't need to spend $500,000. You can be going to our regional centres and spending $150,000 and looking at a return of somewhere between 6 and 7%. That's a winner for people, especially baby boomers looking for a return. That's why your site's going to be a real winner.
And for real estate agents who perhaps are in areas and they're not on the site at the moment, what would you? Obviously, a lot of your principles have come on board in these sort of areas. What would you say to other people who are thinking of?
I think that any real estate agent who has property for sale that is showing better than a 4% return, they're not doing a fair thing to their vendors if they don't put them on your site. I think this is the only site that really targets just investment properties showing a better than 4% return. Otherwise, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. And this site actually directs you to the best return. So, if you're not on there for your vendors, you're doing the wrong thing by your people. Get on the site. It's a beauty. Thank you.